Welcome! Do you want to learn English in a fun and easy way? In this video, we teach English using narrated, animated stories. Here is how it works. On the left, watch the beautiful animations. They are designed to help you understand and enjoy the story. On the right, you can read along as you listen to the narrator. When we reach a difficult word, don't worry. A box will appear at the bottom with a simple definition and an example to help you learn. Let's get started.
Imagine you wake up one day and a whole 10 years of your life feel like they have vanished. It is like trying to remember a dream you had long ago. The details are hazy, and the overall feeling is that a lot of time has simply slipped away. This is a common and often surprising experience for many people. Think about your childhood. Do you remember summer holidays feeling like they lasted an endless amount of time? Days full of new discoveries, games, and long evenings. But now, as an adult, your years seem to fly by incredibly fast. January comes and goes, and suddenly it's December again. A week can feel like just a day or two. A whole 10 years can pass by quickly, almost before you have time to notice. This swift passage of time can sometimes feel unfair, almost like a trick your mind is playing on you. This experience is more than just feeling nostalgic for younger days. It is not just about remembering the past with warmer feelings. The feeling that time passed differently when you were young and that it now moves faster is something almost all adults share. It happens to people from all over the world. Many thinkers have wondered about this for centuries. In recent years, scientists, especially neuroscientists, have found clear biological reasons for this. They have learned how our brains create our sense of time and why this sense changes as we get older.
They are starting to understand the complex machinery inside our heads that controls how we feel time. What these experts are discovering is truly fascinating. It also gives us a sense of power. Time in our minds is not like a fixed clock. It does not always tick at the same steady speed throughout our lives. Instead, it is much more elastic. It can stretch out or shrink based on what we are doing, how we feel, and how much new information our brain is taking in. Understanding these brain secrets will do more than just explain why your childhood seemed so long and why your adult years feel so short. It will give you the key to changing your future. You will learn how to make time feel richer and more meaningful. This knowledge can help you live a fuller life, paying more attention to each moment. Your brain does not tell time. Your body has many important parts. Your heart, for example, beats all the time with a regular rhythm. But your brain is very different. It does not have a single special clock inside that ticks off seconds. There is no one part that reliably tells you the exact time. So if your brain has no real clock, how do you feel time passing? This is a big question. Your brain does not measure time directly. Instead, it creates the idea of time for you, building your experience moment by moment. Scientists have learned that your brain gathers information from your senses. It uses what your eyes see, your ears hear, and all your other senses.
Then, it quickly organizes this information. It builds a story, a sequence of events, one after another. This story, or narrative, is how you feel time passing. Many different brain parts work together for this. For example, the hippocampus helps you remember past events and put them in order. Another key part is the prefrontal cortex. This area helps you plan future actions and keeps your attention focused. Other parts, like the basal ganglia, also help you sense how long small moments take. All these areas work together, taking sensory information and memories to construct what feels like a continuous flow of time. It's like your brain is always creating a fake timeline, making sense of everything. You also have a natural body clock called your circadian rhythm. This rhythm tells your body when to sleep and when to wake up. It is a big, roughly 24-hour cycle that controls many things in your body. However, this important body rhythm is not the same as your brain's moment-to-moment feeling of time. So your feeling of time is not a real, unchanging clock. It is more like a perception or a story that your brain tells itself, built from what you experience and remember. But what happens if this story changes? What if the brain's chemicals, which control how it works, start to rewrite the script of your timeline? This can make time feel very different. Sometimes it can feel like time is speeding up. Other times it can feel like it is slowing down. Understanding these chemicals helps us see why time does not always feel the same. 3. Happy feelings change time. Dopamine is a special neurotransmitter in our brain that helps us feel happy. Many people know it as the happy chemical or the reward chemical. It makes us feel good when we experience something enjoyable, like eating tasty food, falling in love, or achieving a goal. But dopamine has another very interesting and secret job. It actually warps how we feel time passing. It changes our internal clock inside our minds. Think about a time when you were having a lot of fun. Perhaps you were deeply engaged in a game, watching a thrilling movie, or having a really interesting talk with friends. Did time seem to pass very, very quickly? This feeling is directly connected to dopamine. When we are excited, engaged, and rewarded, our brain releases more dopamine. This increase in dopamine makes our internal clock speed up. So what might be an hour on a real clock can feel like only a few minutes in our minds. Studies have shown that when dopamine activity is high in the brain, people tend to underestimate how much time has truly gone by. For instance, if someone is given a medicine that boosts dopamine, they might think a minute has passed much sooner than a full 60 seconds have actually elapsed. This is the science behind the common saying, "Time flies when you're having fun." It is not just a saying, it is how our brain's chemistry works. This important link between dopamine and our sense of time also helps us understand more serious health conditions. People with Parkinson's disease, for example, often struggle greatly with time perception. This condition is caused by the slow loss of brain cells that produce dopamine. When the dopamine system is not working well, their internal clock can break down, sometimes very badly. They might find it extremely difficult to judge how long different events or intervals of time are. This clearly shows how crucial dopamine is for our brain's ability to keep track of time and create a smooth experience of its passing. Other brain chemicals, like serotonin, also play a role, sometimes working against dopamine to help adjust our sense of time. The constant interaction of these chemicals helps our brain calibrate how fast or slow time feels. So, while dopamine clearly plays a huge part in why our happy and exciting moments seem to zoom by, it doesn't tell the whole story. It explains why a fun afternoon can feel like it vanished in an instant, but it doesn't explain why our childhood years, full of new experiences, seem to stretch out endlessly.
That part of the mystery involves other brain processes that we will explore next. Why being young felt so long. Remember being a child? Summers felt like they went on forever. Every day was an adventure, a new game, a different friend, or a first time seeing something amazing. Scientists call this the novelty hypothesis.
It suggests that when you are young, your brain treats nearly everything as new. A child learning to ride a bicycle or exploring a new park is in a constant state of cognitive novelty. Your brain works extra hard to record all these details. Think of your first visit to the seaside. Your brain stored the smell of the salt, the cold water, the soft sand, and the bright light. It recorded this experience in high definition, like a special movie. Each new moment gets a mental flag. The more flags your brain raises for new events, the thicker your memory becomes. This rich memory makes that time feel incredibly long when you look back at it later. As an adult, life often becomes a routine. You might go to the same work, see the same people, and do similar things each day. Your brain already knows these experiences. It does not need to record them in the same detailed way anymore. It's like your brain stops hitting the record button for ordinary days. So a week, a month, or even a year can feel like one long, blurry moment. This is why a 2-week holiday, full of new sights and sounds, can feel longer in your memory than 6 months of your normal everyday life.
For example, a year for a 5-year-old is a big part of their life, 20% of it. That year holds so much change, growing taller, learning new words, starting school. But for a 50-year-old, 1 year is just a small piece, only 2% of their life. Because a year becomes a smaller fraction of your total life as you get older, it feels like it passes much faster. Children and teenagers live in a world of constant change. New schools, new friends, new lessons. Their brains are always busy processing new things. As adults, many things stay the same. With fewer new landmarks to mark the years, they begin to blend together. It becomes harder to tell if a memory happened 4 years ago or 6 years ago because the days are less distinct. Your brain's way of recording new events and the decreasing proportion of your life each year both contribute to why your young years felt long and your adult years feel like they fly by. But there is even more to this feeling. Memory is powerful, but it is not the only thing that makes time speed up as you get older. Getting older makes time fast. Getting older often makes us feel like time is speeding up. There is a simple but powerful idea about this called the proportionality theory. It says we measure time not just in years, but as a part of our whole life so far. Think about it. For a child who is 5 years old, 1 whole year is a very big part of their life.
It is like 20% of everything they have lived. But for someone who is 50 years old, 1 year is a much smaller piece, only 2% of their life. Because it is a smaller proportion, that year feels like it passes much faster for the older person. If you are 33, a year is about 3% of your life so far, feeling 7 times faster than when you were 5. This idea was first talked about by thinkers like William James in the 19th century, and later by Paul Janet. This theory helps us understand why childhood felt so long. Each year added a huge chunk to our memories and experiences. As we get older, each new year adds a smaller and smaller part. This is why our adult years can feel like they just blur together. Our world also changes less as we get older.
Children often move to new schools, have new friends, and learn many new things. Adults often have the same routine, the same home, and the same friends year after year. Fewer changes mean fewer distinct memories to mark the passage of time. Scientists have also looked inside the brain to understand this. Recent brain scans show changes in how our brains work as we age. A study led by Selma Luchtmajer at the University of Birmingham in 2025 looked at 577 people from 18 to 88 years old. They watched an 8-minute film clip. What the researchers found was interesting. Young brains showed many quick changes in neural states.
These are like clear, distinct moments. But older brains stayed in each state for a longer time and made fewer changes or transitions. Imagine watching a movie, but someone has taken out most of the cuts between scenes. The movie would feel long and blurry, and it would be hard to tell when one part ended and another began. This is similar to what happens in an older brain. Scientists call this neural dedifferentiation. It means that the brain's activity patterns become less distinct. Faces, objects, and moments can start to blend together. The brain struggles to register new, separate events. So it's not just about having fewer new experiences as an adult. It appears that the way our brain registers transitions between distinct moments actually changes with age itself. The very physical parts of our brain that help us feel time are altered. This means that as we age, our brains might naturally log fewer events in any given time. This makes time feel like it is flying by. With all these changes, is there any way for an adult to make time feel slower again? 6. Fear makes time stop. Imagine you are falling from a tall building, or maybe you see a car crash right in front of your eyes. In these scary moments, does the world seem to move in slow motion? Many people say that time seems to stop or slow down a lot during very dangerous events. They notice small details, like a person's face or the color of a car, which they would normally miss.
It feels like a few seconds stretch into a much longer time. This feeling is very real, but how the brain makes this happen is quite surprising. There is a special part of your brain called the amygdala. This almond-shaped part of the brain is like your body's alarm system. When you are in great danger, the amygdala becomes very active. It does not actually make your brain process things faster in that moment. Instead, it does something different but very powerful. The amygdala works to store many more memories than usual during a frightening event. It marks every tiny moment as important. It makes the memories of those few seconds very rich and full of details. When you later remember the event, your brain has so much information stored that it feels like a longer time must have passed. This is why it seems like everything moved slowly, but it is not what truly happened. Scientists wanted to test if time really slows down during a scary event. A neuroscientist named David Eagleman and his team did an experiment. They had people fall backward without ropes from a height of 150 feet into a safety net. During the fall, which lasted about 3 seconds, the people were asked to read numbers shown very quickly. The scientists found that the volunteers could not read the numbers faster than they normally would. This showed that their brains were not actually speeding up their ability to see or process information in real time.
So, the feeling that time slows down is actually an illusion. It happens after the event, when you think back on it. The intense fear makes your amygdala create a huge number of detailed memories for those few short moments. When you look back, your mind puts all these memories together. It makes the small amount of clock time feel like a much longer period of mind time. This effect is similar to why childhood often felt very long in our memories. In childhood, everything was new, so your brain made many new memories. The more new memories you have from a period, the longer that time feels when you think back on it. In moments of danger, your brain, especially the amygdala, pushes this process to an extreme level. It creates a rich, dense, and emotionally strong set of memories. This makes the brief, scary moments feel spacious and long in your mind, even though the clock kept ticking at its normal speed. It is a powerful trick of your memory, helping you remember important details from a crisis. 7. Why holidays feel short but long. Have you ever noticed something strange about holidays? When you are on vacation, time often feels like it flies by quickly. One moment you arrive, and the next it is time to go home. But later, when you look back, that same holiday feels much longer. This puzzling feeling is called the holiday paradox. To understand this, think about two kinds of time: clock time and mind time. Clock time is exact, measured by watches. Mind time is how your brain feels time passing. On holiday, you are often busy and excited. You see new places, try new foods, and do new things. Your mind is full of interesting activities. This keeps your brain busy and distracts it from watching the clock. Because you are so engaged, mind time runs fast, and the holiday seems to zoom past. However, when you remember the holiday, your brain counts the new memories you made. A holiday is full of new experiences, so you make many unique memories. The more new memories you have from a time, the longer that period feels when you recall it. Your normal daily routine, with its repeated actions, creates fewer new memories. So routine weeks feel shorter than a holiday packed with new moments. This difference is profound. This also explains why your 20s often feel like a very long and special time. Psychologists call this the reminiscence bump. Between ages 15 and 25, people have many firsts. First jobs, first loves, moving away, new friends. These are new experiences with strong emotions. Your brain records these moments in great detail. Because these years are so full of unique and strong memories, they feel much longer and more important later. Understanding this paradox gives you a powerful tool. You can hack your memory to make your life feel longer and richer. How? By actively seeking new experiences.
Trying a new hobby, visiting an unfamiliar place, or learning a new skill creates more distinct memories. These new memories make that period of your life feel more expansive when you recall it. It is like adding more pages to your life story. This is a key insight. So holidays make time fly in the moment, but feel longer in memory because of all the new things. If vacations can expand our minds, what is the daily routine doing to our lives? 8. How to make time slow down. You do not have to watch your life pass quickly. You can learn how to make time feel slower. The neuroscience of how our brains work shows us how to do this. You have more control over your experience of time than you might think. One important way is to be curious and try new things. When you learn new skills, visit new places, or do different activities, your brain makes more new memories. These fresh memories make time feel longer when you remember it later. For example, Linda Geerligs from Radboud University suggests that learning new things and having fun social activities help time feel more expansive. Try taking a different road to work or cooking a new meal. Even learning a few notes on an instrument helps. Your brain likes new information. It helps your inner clock work better, as studies using virtual reality have shown. This often means stepping out of your comfort zone. Another way is to practice mindfulness. This means paying close attention to what is happening right now, without worrying or thinking too much. When you meditate or practice mindfulness, you focus on the present moment. This makes time feel less rushed. It is like the opposite of being on autopilot, where you do things without thinking. People who keep learning and stay social, sometimes called superagers, also experience time more sharply. They keep their brains busy with new things, which keeps their mental camera clicking. It takes curiosity and a willingness to try new things. You can visit a new place, talk to someone different, or explore an unknown hobby. Each new experience is like a new page in your life's book. These moments make your life feel fuller when you remember them. Time is not a cage that holds you. It is an invitation to live fully by noticing the present. Your childhood felt long because everything was new and exciting. Your brain paid close attention to every detail. As an adult, if you do the same things every day, your brain records less. This makes years seem to fly by quickly. The clock on the wall will always move the same, but the clock in your head can slow down if you learn to be surprised and truly present. What new thing will you try this week to make your time feel longer?
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you.